Salam, good day. Wise Solace speaking. Subscribe to the channel. Click that thumb as well. Now, I want to do this very deep video today explaining why Trump is taking everyone to war. And this is important because there's an end result. Action reaction thing always at play. So, of course, his actions can affect everyone, but I'm going to get into that. Now, enjoy the view. I'll start in the 2-minute mark. Excuse me. Now, when you're dealing with all of these wars that Trump is starting, peace and wisdom, Tribe JT, Tribe Chief. Like I said, when you're dealing with all these wars that Trump is starting, of course, Trump is taking Iran to war, or we're supposed to be helping Israel, but you get my point? Trump is taking Iran to war. He took Venezuela to war. There's rumors of him wanting to invade Greenland, as well as Cuba. And so to your common person, they're probably thinking, okay, Trump is crazy, and you get my point? They don't understand what's truly being done. And so I want to explain that. Now, I'm not a Trump supporter, and I'm not against Trump. Meaning I don't condone voting. We vote whatever we give our attention to and we play part in, so we make it real. In that, all this political stuff, we make it real by entertaining it, going down to the poll booths, voting. There's never been a good president, meaning people complain about Trump, Biden, Obama, every president you could think of, but whatever they're seeking doesn't exist. What president was actually good? You follow my point? In that, the whole system makes no sense. We go down there, we vote for presidents every 4 years. For what? Out of all these years of presidents, ain't none of them, we ain't getting nothing out of it as the people. Meaning, ain't no president that been in office thus far did anything that made any sense in regards to the people, truly giving wealth to the people. They just come in, make their promises, get what they get out of it, and slide. And so I'm just making a point. I don't condone voting and all of that. That's slave stuff. Meaning, if you go in to vote for a ruler over yourself, you your own problem if oppressions is your complaint. Again, if you complain about being oppressed and then you go and vote for a ruler or leader over yourself, you your own problem, truly. But you have to become aware to see that on your own. Can't nobody tell you that. And so everybody has to wake up when they do, but we are our own problem, meaning all the things that the people complain about are truly the people's doing. Just going along with anything as if we have to. There's always the option of nothing. And it's a deep thing when you're dealing with nothing, because nothing usually works better than something. When you pay attention to the times in your life where you did nothing. Maybe you had a quarrel with somebody, and instead of fighting back, you said, "You know what? I ain't paying it no mind. I ain't about to waste my breath. I ain't gonna do nothing." And you get my point? It kind of just withered on the way, being as though you wasn't giving it no energy. You wasn't giving it no resistance. Resistance is a deep thing, but let's keep everything on track. And so, like I said, I don't condone voting, but to each his own. Like I said, everyone has to wake up in their own time. When we stop entertaining voting and presidents ruling over us as a whole, and we become sophisticated enough to respect each other's territories and boundary lines, and you get my point? Just natural laws of nature, like how the animals do it out in the wild. When we get sophisticated back to that level, you get my point? All will be well. As of now, trying to get one person to speak and do for a whole nation of people is impossible. It doesn't make any logical sense. And so you get my point? America's an open market. I explained that in a previous video. But getting back to this video, Trump, when Trump first was trying to get into office, he had a lot of oil companies investing in his, what do you call that, when they're running for office? A lot of people don't understand politics, but when the president is running for office, they can't put up their own money. They have to have investors. And that Trump can't, like, put up his own money and start his own campaign. That's the word I was looking for. Trump had a lot of oil companies investing into his presidency, that campaign. And that went over most people's heads. And that was the most important part. Meaning the moment you became aware that Donald Trump had oil companies investing into his campaign, meaning helping him to become president, it's because they want a favor back. Now, here's the important part. Every country that Trump has targeted and looking to target has oil. Even Cuba has oil, meaning Cuba's not a big distributor of oil in regards to the world, but they do have little offshore capabilities, meaning they have an untapped into oil reserve offshore, like off their off the shores of their country. And so every country that President Trump is targeting, they supply oil to the world, or they have a great deal of oil that can be exploited and sold to the world. And the reason Trump is doing this is because oil companies invested in his presidency, or they donated to his campaign. Now here's where the deep part comes in, the super deep part. Trump is in business with these oil companies, meaning, view it like this. The oil companies invest into Trump's campaign. Trump tells them, "I'm going to take over all these countries' oil, and then y'all can come in and mine it." Every country is dealing with their own customers and their own miners, let's say, oil miners, the people that get the oil. So let's say Venezuela supplies 15% of the world's oil. And they use whatever miners they do, and they have whatever customers they have, meaning whatever countries get oil through them, that's the country's worth. And so is it the same with every other country that has oil and is supplying it to, other countries in the world. What Trump does is take the oil companies that he's invested into and the ones that are invested into him back, and he puts them in position to mine the oil in these countries and places that they have no jurisdiction and that they have no, no access to. You have different oil companies, and you get my point. Countries that have oil, they pick what oil miners and drillers that they want to use. In that, you're not definite to get the contract. But with Trump, you get my point? Those that are invested into him, and of course, Trump is invested into a few oil companies, meaning he's part owner. It may be a small part, but I'm sure with the taking over of these countries' oil, he's bombing their oil. With him taking over the oil, you get my point? It put him in better position. And this is how Rockefeller got his millions, meaning Rockefeller got his millions through oil. Well, not his millions, but you get it? When you talking the richest men of the world type of stuff, well, you're going to have to be tapped into that oil, or you can just get your name off the list. So we have like Oprah, Donald Trump, and a whole bunch of billionaires, but you get my point? They not on that Rockefeller. They not like Rockefeller. To be like that, the richest man in the world type of thing, you got to be tapped into the oil and the selling of it. And so Trump is positioning himself while in presidency for 4 years for that. Meaning he's using the United States Army to take over different countries' oil. And even after he's out of office, the oil companies that he have placed there will still be the miners of that spot. And that, do you see my point? He has never-ending oil money coming in now after his presidency. Whoever comes in the presidency after him, you get my point? Maybe he greased their pockets a little bit, but for the most part, he put himself in position to basically be the new oil man. You have China, many countries that supply oil to the world. United States, China, Russia. It's about 10 of them. No, I'm being modest. Maybe 9, 8. Not that many, but you got at least 8 countries that are world producers, meaning they supply, most of the world, most of the world's oil. We speak in the different countries. And that's where all the real money comes from. And so, like I said, Trump is attacking every country that has oil. Greenland has untapped oil potential. Cuba, the same. They already have oil, though, but you get my point? They got some oil that they ain't even tapping into. And so Trump is taking over that. And that's why I guess you could say the United Nations are not like helping him with what he's doing in Israel. Not Israel, Iran, Venezuela, and Mexico, taking the cartel of war. Because, like I said, he want the oil. Whatever place has oil, he's positioning himself to get in there. Meaning, he takes over the oil reserves, or whatever you call them, and he puts his contractors there. And you get my point? Even after he's out of office, that business is still that business, and it has nothing to do with a president. It has to do with oil companies like that. And so he positioned himself in that way. Now, of course, at some point, he's going to be attacked. Well, he already being attacked, but you get my point? If you somebody that's scared and you like, you scared that America's going to get nuked or bombed or something, it's not likely that America's going to get bombed or nuked or any war is going to take place here, because America, the whole world's economy is dependent on America having a spending problem. Meaning Americans buy every and anything you can think of coming from every country, because America don't really produce anything. In that, if you're a country that don't like America, when you get a thought to bomb America, then you say, no, 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 wait. 70% of our revenue is coming from America because we're sending products and things to there. And this is why if you wonder, like, damn, why they don't have no wars here? Because it's like messing up the store. America's like the mall, and all the different stores got their store set up in that mall. In that, none of the individual stores want to blow up the mall. They got beef with the mall owner, but they like, don't blow up the mall. You get my point? Just blow him up. And so it's that kind of thing. They hate Trump. I'm sure China could nuke America right now, but they not, cause you get it. How they gonna get money after that? Who's gonna be buying all their products like that? No other country has that market like that where you could sell. People in the Arab countries ain't buying stuff like that. They walking around with nightgowns and slippers on, honey child. Nah. Stereotype. I'm sorry. Just how you doing? Yeah, I know. I've been taking a break. Yeah. I'm gonna come over there in a minute. I said I'm gonna come over there in a minute. Okay, where's I at? Salami, Christianity, or Islam? Which is correct? Peace and wisdom, Bobby OSDF. I'll answer that question in a second. You said, well, Rockefeller obtained money through a monopoly system here in the States. This is why monopolies are legal, except for Las Vegas. Rockefeller got his wealth through oil. If whatever you naming is beneath oil money, it's no need to bring it up. That's like saying Jay-Z got his start from selling drugs. Jay-Z's way beyond that. What are we even talking about? You get my point? Now, maybe that got his wheels rolling, but that ain't get the car started or nothing. It's just a process. But like I said, oil. The world needs oil for like energy and gas, all of that stuff, heat. And that you tapping into the oil. You tapping into the main resource that's generating the most capital. After that is probably drugs, because the pharmaceutical industry is dependent on, drugs, cocaine, all of that. It ain't just a street thing, it's a pharmaceutical thing, it's a product thing. Meaning some of these drugs is used in products, and so you get my point? Then after that, maybe tree wood. I don't know the orders, but I know oil. And ain't nothing above oil, except for maybe cocaine. I'm not being funny. Americans don't realize cocaine it's illegal in Mexico. It's illegal to bring it over here because it's illegal here. And that, do you get my point? Cocaine ain't worth nothing in Mexico. Its worth is worth here. Like it's not something rare in Mexico. It's rare here. You can't go in nobody's backyard here and find cocoa leaves and get busy. In that, do you get my point? But still, you have drugs being shipped all over the world just for pharmaceutical purposes. In that, maybe 70, 80 million kilos, they end up in the suburban area somewhere. You get my point? But that's why if you ever hear them say, like, man, the government is bringing in the drugs. Yeah, that's where it get tricky because the government bringing it in for pharmaceutical purposes and scientific, you know, research purposes and things. And at the flip side, it's big on the streets. So, some gonna always get, kicked off the boat, kicked out the plane, whatever. It's all simple. Meaning everything when you're dealing with the Babylons, this is the countries, the cities. It's all money. Nothing's personal. There's no population. You know how y'all be say like they doing this and that to kill us? They wouldn't care if y'all live or die. Y'all ain't a thought in their mind. It's all about money. If the food is not, if the food is fake, it's because fake food is easier to. You get my point? It got to do with money, like nothing else. And it's the same with anything y'all could think. I wouldn't care. Even COVID-19, and it had to do with money. Now that you passed it, and the first thing I say to y'all is the price double now after COVID? Most y'all say yeah. Then you can't overlook COVID had something to do with money. Otherwise, why the price ain't go back regular? Okay, they raised the price for COVID. COVID sofa. Why the price ain't go back regular? In that, you gotta say, okay, the one factor that we do have out of COVID, meaning the purpose of it, one truth is money. They wanted to raise the prices. Why? That's what they do. Ain't no war going on, so you gotta have a reason, like a war. It has to be a reason to tell the public why you raising the prices. So they raising the prices of gas. And the reason they telling y'all is because of the war. I know most of y'all say, what do them going to war got to do with you know? Why tissue going up because they at war? Why eggs high as hell? Damn, eggs went low too. I ain't going front. I went to the supermarket. I got said, whoa, back to $1.99. What? Boy, the hell of eggs. Oh, I thought I was the only one. I went in the supermarket. I said, hold on. $1.59? What? I should not even bought them now that I think about it. Cause you feel me? How that even happened? What kind of eggs is these? Nigga hit us with the alien eggs, blood. Cause y'all know the aliens coming. Y'all know I got to bother y'all a little bit. Y'all fucking aliens coming that y'all be talking about. They here already. They brought chickens and everything. Cattle. We got new meat, new eggs, y'all. It's cheaper too if you get it from the alien. This how y'all gonna be talking in the time to come. I get my groceries from the aliens. I get my canned merc from the alien. I get my canned merc from the aliens. Do you hear me? I get it for 10 cents on the dollar, honey child. This gonna be y'all in the time to come. Like next year. You know how y'all be lying. They could spread a rumor that the aliens came. You gonna have somebody lying talking about, yep, I bought some meat from them. They like the Mexicans, man. You can get fruit and shit from them. But they trying to make their way. They still ain't get on yet. Ain't make their mark in society yet. So they still selling like fruit shit on the side, my man. I bought 3 worms. It's an orange. It's gonna be weird. Now when was I? You making me play too much. Y'all cute and slow, like y'all slow and cute to me, like y'all always got some new trend or some new bullshit y'all be talking about. I like children, man. Let me answer your question before you get back to the politics and Trump and all that. You said Christianity or Islam, which is correct. Christianity and Islam is the same religion by different tongue and culture. So if you go back to the beginnings of the Abrahamic religions, this is Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. These religions start with the Hebrew people, meaning ancient Hebrew religion, I guess you can call it. The ancient Hebrew religion became these 3 separate religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. But if you understand, how things work, look at it like this. The Hebrews were in Egypt. This is before Judaism. Christianity and Islam. This is at the Hebrew times. So if you read the Bible, the Hebrews were prisoners in Egypt. Like I said, this is before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. This is back in ancient Egypt in Hebrew times. Now the Hebrews was free. The Hebrews was freed from the Egyptians by Moses and brought out into the wilderness. This would be like the Arabian desert. And this is the beginnings of Islam and Christianity, or Hebrew becoming Islam and Christianity. You have to remember, Moses went up the mountain. He got the Ten Commandments from God. And when he came back down, the Hebrew Israelites was worshiping the calf. This is basically pre-Islam. In Islam, you have the crescent moon as the symbol, but that's really bull horns. If you go back to ancient Egypt, you'll see images of a box with a calf on top of it. It's like the Kaaba, but instead of having a crescent moon on top of it, it has the whole cow with the crescent moon horns, you know? And so the ancient Hebrews, when Moses came down from the mount, the ancient Hebrews was they basically went back to their practices from Egypt, which would have been like pre-Islam, where they're worshiping bullhorns. Or y'all say a moon in the daytime. But this is the beginnings of that one religion, ancient Hebrew, becoming two. Because Moses killed like 10,000 Hebrews after that. Meaning after he seen them washing the calf, most people don't read the Bible. They might have seen like the Ten Commandments movie where he threw the tablets and whoever died, died. But in the book, he had got one of the tribes of Israel, I think it was the Levites, and they assisted him. He told them go into every camp and slaughter the men, women, and children. He's speaking of the Hebrews that he had with him. And that's what happened. They got the slaughter, and they say when they was done, about 10,000 Hebrews fell. And you get it? The Levites and whoever else, they went with Moses, and you get it? The remnants and whatever was left of what was opposing Moses out of the Hebrews went on their way. Remember, they're in the Arabian desert, so this is like the beginnings of Islam on that end with the calf worship, and Moses is like the beginnings of Christianity or Judaism. But it started as one, like the Hebrews, and they're splitting and dividing. The point I'm making is both religions is the same. They have the same characters. The only thing that's different is the tongue. In that, the God in Islam is Allah, the La. A lot of people don't know that. Allah. Al is the, and La is La, like the sound of an L. La 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 la. The God in Christianity is El, E-L. This is the ancient Canaanite deity. E-L is like the spelling of the letter L. If you remove spelling, then the God of Christianity is L, like I said, which is a letter. And so do you get my point? In Islam, you have the sound of the letter L. La 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 la. And in Christianity, you have the letter itself. Or you can spell it out, E-L or whatever, just an L. And this is all an ode to Lucifer, you know, big L. The sun, my boy. The grass. When you're dealing with religious worship, you're dealing with star worship. So the sun is God, the Most High. This is Lucifer, the sun. The sun is Lucifer, the Most High. Meaning, when you hear Lucifer, the Most High, that's what's being described, the sun, the light, the great light. The opposer of that great light is night, or Saturn. That's like the last planet or star, you can say. But to make it simple, night. So the opposer of the day, or the sun, is the night. This is where you get, God and Satan from. After that, you have your seven archangels. This is basically your seven planets, or if you're speaking of within your own vessel, your seven chakras. After the seven archangels, you have the 12 disciples, or you have the Savior, which is Jesus, or the Lamb. This is Aries. Like I said, religion is star worship. So the sun is God, the nighttime sun, or nighttime itself, a Saturn thing. This is the opposer of the sun, which is God. So that's God and the adversary. Then you have the seven archangels, which would be the seven planets. Then you have the Savior of God. This would be the Lamb, or one of the 13 or 12 constellations. Aries, that constellation saves the sun from winter. In the winter, the days get shorter, meaning the sun's time gets shorter by a third. If winter doesn't go away, then I suppose the sun would be done for. Because remember, in the winter, the sun's time gets shorter and shorter and shorter. Just like in the summer, the night times get shorter and shorter. If you understand that, when Aries comes around, or that constellation Aries, it's the savior of the sun. It's the beginnings of spring. Spring leads to summer. In that, you start to get more light than darkness. And so Aries, that constellation, is the savior. And then you have the 12 other constellations, because there's 13 constellations. Jesus is Aries, and then you have the other 12, which are the 12 disciples. And then after that, you have, all the constellations north of the celestial equator, and all the constellations south of the celestial equator. This makes for your angels and your demons, your lows and your highs. But religion is just star worship. They're personifying these things. In that, you get my point? Y'all get lost on the personification and not what actually being worshipped. And the society we live in is worshipped by these things. Y'all live the constellations, meaning y'all have months. And there's a holiday for these months that y'all have. And these months govern y'all system. These months being constellations. So, you get my point? I don't want you to get lost where you say, no, that ain't it. Man, you live what I just said beyond what you could fathom. Your money got constellations on it. Or symbols and images to represent. And so it's a deep thing. Peace. LL Cool J. Be messing up my flow. It's LL Cool Hefe. LL Cool J Big Illy. Get together, my boy. Now, like I said, Christianity and Islam, same religion. Different culture, different tongue. Same religion. In that it wouldn't matter which one you are. A religion ain't gonna do nothing for you. It's a worldly thing. Life is beyond the physical. Meaning physical life is a thing, but there's life beyond it. If you're lost, y'all go unconscious to sleep every night, and sometimes y'all end up in a dream reality. It's a physical world and it's a real place till you leave it, but you get my point? Like that. There's realities and worlds in existence beyond the physical, meaning beyond the physical body in this physical place. And that religion just a worldly thing. Something to dumb you down and keep you, on a low vibration, so to say. When I say low vibration, I mean like, dependent. Uh, it's a cattle thing, you know? Man has evolved from cattle to pet. And how y'all be talking about slavery? There's no slavery. There was just a time where mankind was cattle. The same way you got cattle grazing the grass, grazing the pasture, you had mankind on the pasture picking the cotton and they're doing his grazing. They sleep out back in the goddamn shed just like the cattle. A lot of times the slaves was kept with the cattle in the shed because they was viewed as the same. Meaning we look at mankind as mankind now, but during the times y'all call slavery, mankind was viewed as cattle. In that, it's like we fast forward into the future and they be like, man, y'all evil, man. Y'all was buying and selling genetically modified dogs and shit like that. Like dogs is people. Y'all will be like, hold on, it wasn't like that though. It was legal to buy. It was legal to buy my poodle. What do you mean? So this is how it would have been in the past. A rich white family would have been like, we got all this money in this nice house. Only thing we missing is a human pet. So then they go buy a slave and put that nigga in nice clothes and tell him, here, stand by the door, nigga. And when somebody knock, answer it. When the phone ring, nigga, answer it. And that, you feel me? It's like how you are with your dog. You say, nigga, go get my slippers. Sit. Sparky, roll. It take a while for it to get it, but once they get it, you be like, see, that's my dog right there. That's how the master was with the slave. He say, nah, this my favorite slave. Look, he listen. Sit, nigga. Niggas take a sit right there on the cotton field. Ah, ass on fire. Roll around, nigga. Go get my car. Drop me into town. Yes, boss. In that, you get my point. Mankind ain't too far from. Mankind just overcame being cattle. They still speak like the slaves, though. Things be happening with the politics in America. The government. They be like, we. We at war with Iran. Nigga, shut the fuck up. That's just like the slaves in the past. We be sick, boss. Nigga, you ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You get my point? It's a deep thing. And so we got a lot of slave hangover. Meaning, the man got to realize we was cattle. When y'all make it a slave thing, then y'all make it take away from, the real understanding. Like, slave don't really mean nothing. But if you understand man was cattle, no different than a shepherd had his sheep. Well, some shepherds had men. These shepherds was called masters, and you get my point? They was mixed breeding. They cattle are their human cattles, buying and selling. You get my point? And so, it's a deep thing. Chuck and Joppin' TV. Nigga got a BS name and tell me I'm full of it. How am I full of it? I'd like to know from your perspective. Salam. L. Rose says, since the beginning of time, man has been known as animals. Yeah, before you civilized them. Now, Von Wick said, is time real or an illusion? Everybody's on their own time. You fall asleep, snap out of time when you do, and you pop back into it when you do. And you get my point? Your awake and sleep cycles is not on the same time as the next person. Just like you're alive and you're being dead is not on the same time as the next person's. If you're speaking of time in regards to counting, well, that's just curriculum. to keep track of real time, which is life and existence. So you got to start there. Your perspective of time is probably like numbers, curriculum. The clock say 3:15 type of thing, but that have nothing to do with time. Time is like you're awake right now, and you're gonna be unconscious this evening. Tapped out of time, and then you're gonna come back to it when you come into the consciousness. But like I said, everybody's on their own time. You got a whole bunch of different times within the space of eternity, so to say. I ain't just speaking about the living, but you got those that have died in that time. Like, in the same way life have a time, so does death. In terms of like an existence or a process. In that, do you get my point? There's a bunch of times within this space we call existence, but or this space that existence is happening in, but in regards to there being one time, no. I'm saying that because you said is time an illusion or reality? There's many realities, there's many times. We have kids, they're us at a different time, maybe a different sex, but do you get it? Many different times. Elro said, we are born into sin and our time. And sin is death. I'm not sure what sin is to you. Sin to you probably is rules and you're breaking those rules, but that's pet stuff, meaning the mind has to evolve beyond dependencies and bosses and kings and gods over itself before it can get any true divinity or glory or understanding. It's like a child. The child has to become adult before it uses its own brain and will listen to you. Until then, it's going to listen to its parents. It wouldn't care. It wouldn't matter what you said. What you said could make perfect sense to the kid, but they still going to go with what their parents said because their parent is over them to them. And so it's the same with adults. People become adults, but they still have dependencies above them, or things that they see as above them. We speak in people. And of course, the extension of people, which is mythical characters that they worship. But beyond all that dependency, we speak in the mind being dependent, the perspective being that way. Beyond the mind having that perspective, well, there is no sin in regards to like rules. You can only break rules if you're under them. You understand? You break the rules your parents give you because you're under them. Like, but if you didn't live in their house and you had your own life and you get it, you can't break their rules. Their rules don't have anything to do with you. It's a deep thing if you grasp what I'm saying. And so it's an evolving thing, but most people don't ever, their mind never evolves beyond their younger years. And so sin is not rule, sin is death. This is why it says the wages of sin equals death. That's not to say if you sin, you will die. It's saying sin equates to death. You're gonna die, so you get my point? But sin is that death, like the eternity of it. And so you was born into death, which is sin, meaning you eat, which is dependent on a life being taken, whether you talking meat, vegetables, whatever. Your eating, which is an everyday thing, is dependent on a death, a sin. The clothing that you wear is dependent on the same. Animal skin are the plant's fibers, but however you cut it, you're having clothing and material possessions and desires is dependent on life being killed. And so, do you get my point? Death is sin in regards to your urges. Like I said, you born into this physical life. This physical place is sin. Sin is death. So that should make it clear to you what I mean when I say sin is death. You've been born into a place of sin where death is how you get along. Meaning if y'all don't take life and eat of it, then y'all will die. It's called starvation. So it's like a trade. To get more life, you gotta kill or you gotta eat life. It go deeper than that, but you get my point? It's the play stuff. It's the play realms. The troll realms. But if you have a mind, you get my point? All this sacrifice and all these things in y'all religion, it go back to what I just said in deeper things. Deeper deeper awarenesses, let's say. And so sin has to do with death. You're a sinner because you partake in death, not because you break a rules. There are no rules. It's just balance, meaning fair. And when you break that fair, well, you get my point? Partake in the sin or the death. He says, so death is a sin to you. Just to explain to you what sin is. I don't have a perspective on like death ain't sin to me because that's my opinion. I'm just telling you what it is. You either grasp or you don't. Outside of that, I don't have an opinion on anything. Things are what they are. You have to learn things as they are, not as you want them to be. You said I'm not referring to sin as physical actions. I'm referring to the meaning of the word. That's what I was explaining to you. That's why I gave you the reference. The wages is like the reward, the monies. The wages of sin is death. I figured that'd be enough. He thinks being alive is a sin. You said you are a sinner because you partake in time. Time is existence in life. This is the glory. He thinks that's the sin. You see what religion do to y'all? They dumb you out. Now you probably young and you don't know who you're dealing with. And I'm the wisest man alive. And wisdom don't have nothing to do with smart, intelligence, knowledge. These things all have to do with curriculum, programming. Your being smart is dependent on if you listen and do what you told. When the teachers say this kid is smart and that kid ain't, for the most part they speaking on that. This kid can remember the programming and does whatever I tell him to. So he's smart. It's good. It's like a dog. Y'all say roll over, the dog listen. Y'all say see that dog smart. If you tell a dog to roll over and it doesn't, you don't say that dog right there is smart. I'm gonna have to whoop its ass for it to look. Oh, that dog right there has its own brain. I can't just bully it and tell it what to do. I'm gonna have to put hands on it first. Y'all don't judge things like that. The teacher don't judge the kid that don't listen as okay, this is the smarter kid. And what I'm truly doing is breaking the will, and you get it? I'm doing what slave masters did in the past. Threatening them with punishments, things like that, to force them to do what I say. So technically the slave that ain't listening or the kid that ain't listening, ain't necessarily not smart. You're too smart for its own good. Technically, technically, it'd be too smart for its own good. But you get my point. Smart has to do with like pet stuff, slave brain stuff. Intelligence, you can reference an IQ test. It has to do with curriculum. It doesn't have to do with awareness. Wisdom has to do with awareness and being self-aware, aware of the difference between the things I just said. Like, and so you get my point. I'm saying that because a lot of y'all, when I say I'm the wisest man alive, you don't know who you're talking to. You think anything is wisdom. Like, I'm speaking of a specific thing when I say I'm wise. I'm not speaking of 5 times 5 is 25. I wouldn't care. Like, you could be smarter than me in that. You not. But do you get my point? Meaning, I went to school like y'all. I did really good there. So my motto is, if you didn't do good in school, you could never say you intelligent or even wise. I'm not saying all wise men will be privy to even know there is a thing called school, because you're going to have wise people that's raised outside of society. They don't know nothing about the school system we live in, but they know life. They understand things. And so like that, if you a wise person from a Babylon but you didn't do good in school, that means you got a problem remembering, because that's all schoolwork is memory. It ain't no you they teaching this stuff to little kids, so it lets you know right there you ain't got to be that bright. Addition, subtraction, this is what's being learned at 7 and 8. That means it's not that hard, because a 7 year old they're teaching it to a 7 year old. Do you get my point? Meaning, if you didn't do good in school and you like, no, I'm wise, that's not gonna work with me. Get real. You should be beyond smart intelligence and all of that stuff if you're wise. Not, oh, I'm wise, but I did terrible. My IQ test would be horrible. That wouldn't really make any sense. And so you get my point. Wisdom has to do with awareness, meaning awareness of life and the happenings, as well as self-awareness, higher levels of consciousness, higher levels of perception. Most of y'all still have not perceived that you're still cattle. You still have the mindset of the time when man was cattle. Y'all have not evolved to levels of consciousness where y'all realize that you're here in life to create your own reality with those who are like-minded like you. Y'all are too lost into others' reality. So y'all lost into like the war. Y'all lost into the happenings with Trump, your favorite star, this thing, that thing. Having not be, you know, having not crafted y'all own dream and lived that. Because you gonna live out your dream, or you gonna be stuck with whatever the reality is that's here for you. Meaning there's a bunch of realities for y'all to live. Y'all could be the postman, the mailman, the janitor. Shit, you can be the nigga working down at the fast food. They got a bunch of realities already set up for y'all. And that you got to shape your own dream and live your dream. Or you can just live like the realities. And when I say live your dream, I'm not talking Babylon stuff. A lot of y'all get it? You got the slave mind. So you're like, my dream is to be a rapper. Your dream shouldn't have anything to do with any reality that's already pre-made for you. Those things are work. The mailman, the nigga behind the register at the fast food, even your favorite rapper, they all at work. That's work. But we talking about your life. And so like that, Most of y'all have not even become aware that I'm still cattle and I'm still seeking work. If I take y'all jobs away from y'all and I say, man, now y'all free to live, y'all will find a work to do. You get think on that. You would say, okay, what can I do? And you will start to think like a work, a job. Y'all won't start creating y'all reality like, okay, I want this person, that person, this person in my life. We're going to do this, and this is how we're going to shape and form our reality. And it's going to be good to live every day until we get tired of it and decide to create a new reality. That's what community is about. But y'all have not evolved in mind to even become aware of that. It starts with self awareness and kind of accepting reality. I'm a Babylon monkey. It starts there. I'm a Babylon monkey. I mean no wrong. You gotta apologize when you're a Babylon monkey because you do so much wrong, not even knowing it. So you start there. Mama Nature, I'm sorry, I'm a Babylonian monkey. I I know no wrong because I know nothing I do. Like, I can't do wrong because I'm stupid. I'm just playing, y'all. That's how you gotta tell them. I can't do bad because I don't even know what that is yet. No one told me. Infancy. Me, infant. Like infant souls. Having yet to wake up or be born out of the womb of stupidity. Because you have to be dumb. It's yeah, dumb is first. Like not knowing how to talk, think, perceive. These things are first. Stupid is first. And you have to evolve out of it. Most people get lost into curriculum in school. They say, I went to school, so that means I evolved out of my stupid. No, we're talking about awareness. The fact that you sat in school all of them years and was bullied into sitting still and wasting all of your childhood away. That's the first awareness. Hold on. I sat there at 6 years old. I was supposed to be outside running around and shit playing in the dirt. Learning life. I was sitting there being bullied by this lady that wanted to be paid. Or a man. It's called a teacher. He bullied me and made me sit still there and just read and do all this dumb ass curriculum that I don't use in real life ever. You use 1 plus 1 today? No, you didn't. When have you ever? And through your journey this month, did you ever say, man, 4 times 4? That's my point. Teach you a whole bunch of stuff you never gonna use it. 9 times 10 is who cares? I never gonna be in a situation. When in life are you gonna be in a situation where you need to be like 4 times 4 is 7? Nah, it's 16. But when are you gonna be in that environment or have that scenario where it's like, man, if I knew how to divide, dudes wouldn't have killed me? Like, you get my point? It's deep. If I knew how to add, I would have got that record deal. Blah, blah. Listen, man. They teach you all of that in school and then they tell you to go take a driver's license test. The test ain't got shit to do with nothing they taught you in school. You say, I'm gonna use this driver's license to be a cab driver so I can make money. And that ask yourself, well, what the fuck did I go to school for? Like, I could have took this test at 8, man. What? I went to school all them years, truly just to learn how to sit still and do what I'm told. Because there's no way. You get my point? It's slave training. You can't just tell an adult, sit still at this office desk and answer the phone for 8 hours and do it every day. I'll give you 2 days off. Ain't nobody gonna waste their life like that. You got to groom that into their mind as a child. This is what school is for. It's not to make y'all smart. It's to make y'all domicile. is to make y'all able to do what would naturally be deemed as insane. Sitting at an office desk or whatever we do for work, and how we do it every day, and it becomes a cycle, an insanity. Y'all have lost y'all minds because of it, but y'all are still able to cope. So that's what school system was for. You wake up in the morning like, why the fuck I gotta wake up early? I hate going to school. Oh my God. But you learning over those years. By the time you turn 18, you like, I could just sit still if they gonna pay me. You know what? You sell your time then. So it was like that. It was a grooming system. And this is what wisdom is about, becoming self aware of all the different ways that our minds is enslaved. The limits our lives are the perception of it. Yeah, cycle of insanity. Most people don't get it. And then we live in the times where like the working man may be shamed. If you young, there's nothing wrong with working a job. That's all there is. You have people who may have their own business, but it's the same as working. It's no different. And maybe somebody become a famous star or an athlete of some sort. But that's not real because that doesn't last. That's just like, extremes that you can make happen for yourself, and you got to harness that energy, and you get my point. But all there truly is in Babylon is just work, slavery. And then you have those little illusions, like maybe you can become a basketball player, maybe you can become a musician, a famous actor, maybe you can start a business that becomes $1 million business. But none of those things are stable. Meaning, you get my point? The basketball player can get injured at any moment, dropped off the team at any moment, and even if not, so what? They got a 10-year. You get my point? When you're dealing with sports and, the entertainment aspects of life, I say a 10-year window is good, and anything above that is a little, out of the ordinary. In that, those little dreams are not, you know, they're real because you can make them happen, but they're not real in regards to you're going to be able to just do this forever. That's why I'm saying all there is working a 9 to 5 job, but you do whatever you can to maybe get your moments of outside of that norm and, that whole thing. I'm saying that because those of y'all that work jobs, y'all probably feel worthless in the daytimes because it's promoted like there's something better. And there is, but it still all boils back down to working. You get my point? That's the start. That's like the whole point of the system in life you live in. I find a work. And you get my point? Dumb yourself out or whatever, however you view it. But so we got 60-year-old rappers. Yeah. When you in Babylon, then y'all get lost in work and y'all desires of having the best job, which is to be an entertainer or famous of some sort. But it's still a job in the work. In that, do you get my point? Y'all dreams become work, not life and lifestyles. In that, y'all be 60 years old chasing work, forgetting about life. That's why I said if you take all y'all work away and the things y'all hold, the things y'all have that's supposed to hold some meaning, then y'all will see y'all have no life. A person that's a doctor, if you take their job from them and say there's no more doctors and there's no more no jobs, you just have to live. Like, then do you get my point? Most of y'all will feel worthless. You don't know anything about life and living it. You just know about a work. Finding some kind of work. A job. And so it's a deep thing. Give me a second. I have to take a tinkle. Dream Lavish said, I'm looking for a good job in Babylon. Please pray for me, Solace. Indeed, salam, shalom. You don't have to pray for work. There's always work in Babylon. That's all that system is. It's just, you know, that. But the things I'm speaking of is beyond that. And this is all a matter of awareness. Most people, you get my point? They have not become self aware. In that, they have not become awakened into life. Not, they don't have life. They have, you know, they're talking their work. You said, I remember I was in school. A teacher asked this one kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? Did the kid say the 12 tribes of Israel, or did the teacher ask them? Oh my God, man. Like I said, y'all are not aware. And when you get wise to the levels that I'm at, man, it's a deep thing, you know? Y'all like children. But it's deeper than that. It's like y'all sleep, meaning the mind has not activated. It's still like under the Babylonian trance, where you get my point? Y'all don't truly understand anything. It's still words on paper, images implanted into the mind, but not an understanding coming from, you know, the core of self. Why World 5157 said Solace, does the unconscious, then you put death in parentheses, appear to be unconscious only because man is not conscious of it? So you're asking if unconsciousness is blotched out how it is to us because we're not conscious of it. View unconsciousness like this: be in between two realities. You just keep waking up on the wrong side of that space between two realities, so to say. You coming from, you know, the other side. Unconsciousness is what it is. It's nothing. And nothing is important, but y'all are not self-aware or y'all are not wise, so y'all don't appreciate both sides of the duality. Y'all only appreciate whatever y'all perceive yourselves to be in the moment. So you're something to you, meaning a physical something. In that, when I say, man, nothing is everything, then you compare it to yourself. Say, nah, something is more than nothing. But you say that because you're a something. But everything that's a something and everything that you know that is something, meaning every physical thing that's a something and everything that you know to be something, whether physical or not, is a result of nothing, meaning nothing is the source of all the somethings you see. All the somethings not coming to terms with nothing. So y'all have the life y'all have and y'all do all y'all do because y'all just don't want to accept nothing. You follow? You exist and you live because of that. It's a resistance thing. Y'all resist nothing, which is everything, but y'all resist it so it make for a life. And then y'all make up a whole bunch of stuff in life. Like this is what happens when you die and that and there's aliens. And it's all just extensions of the something's not wanting to accept nothing. You believe in aliens because you don't want to believe that that's nothing. So it be until you come to terms with nothing. You believe in Jesus and he's going to save you because you don't want to accept nothing. And it will be that way for you until you do. Nothing being all there is. That's not to say nothing is like a non existence or a nothing thing. It's just the beginnings of something. The first thought, first image. Think of Gnosticism. They say that deity Sophia is the first, not Sophia, Barbello. They say Barbello is the first image or thought of the monad. This is the most high God or the source. What it means when it says that Barbello is the first image of the creator, first thought, the first wisdom, is speaking of understanding. They're speaking of a self-awareness. They're speaking of the source God, first thought of the self, like who am I or I am, meaning I be, I exist. The first thought, what do I look like? Now, if you understand thought, y'all don't think in words and written script. Words and written script, you're translated into your mind as image. In that, if you view the monad as awareness or consciousness, Barbello is the first image in that space, which is a thought. But like I said, y'all don't think in script or writing, y'all think in image. So she's the first image, the first thought, the first piece of self-awareness. And so nothing or unconsciousness is a deep thing, but most people don't have an awareness to grasp it. Meaning all the life we have and all this, it's just a matter of not accepting nothing. It's a basketball court in your neighborhood. That's just there because there would have been nothing to do. Whatever you could think of is the result of not accepting nothing. Nothing being the irresistible. What is inevitable. You know, the curtain's closing. This is how afterlife, y'all die, y'all can't accept nothing. So y'all live y'all dreams until y'all can. Same way y'all stuck in physical life because y'all won't accept nothing. So y'all wake up in the morning because of the will, the urge to not accept nothing. Nothing being what y'all being when y'all sleep. But something in the vibration don't accept it. And it makes for wake, like waking up. Now, life is simple when you become aware or wise. But you know, y'all still lost on curriculum. And Babylon stuff. Dream Lavish said, why is life so harsh to us? What did we do to deserve this? Life is not harsh. You live in a system. And that system you live in. When I say system, I mean like a video game system or a board game system. The board game system or the game that you live in, that's hard for you, not everyone. But this is any game. Monopoly is hard for you, but maybe not the next person. Scrabble, huh? You have a hard time. The next person doesn't. The life you live in has been made into a system, a game. And the game is hard for you, or harsh for you, and many others because the game is not made for everybody. The game is like the lotto. One will win, and that one will make the others feel like, I got a shot. So they keep trying, but you get my point? There's nothing harsh. There's just nothing in creating. If you don't create for yourself, you will be created for. You don't like what's created for you? Well, you'll have it until you create. So, all is simple. When the mind is vibrating, on truth and wisdom. Yeah, they're making physical life digital life so they can have all the physical life, to themselves. Y'all are occupied online. And anything y'all want to do, it has to do with that. So even if y'all think to do something for yourselves, y'all think to do it in the mindset of content too. If you buy something, you have content or showing an image on IG as a part of it. And so then this increases your desires to want to do things and get things and have things for content's sake. Meaning, people are spending and doing things that they wouldn't naturally do, but they're doing it because content has been added to the mindset. In that, it makes it feel like it has a purpose. You say, man, I'm gonna get a Maybach. You normally wouldn't, but you say, fuck it, they gonna give it to me, I'm gonna pay the note. But you say, man, I'm gonna make some content, and maybe that'll pay it off. You get it? Like that. The mind make it have a purpose now, even though, you get my point? I have nothing to do with anything. But they added that aspect into life for that purpose. It makes y'all have more desires for the sake of you believing there's eyes. Yeah, the sky is beautiful today. That's all online has to do with, business. So y'all get promoted different things, different clothing, different cars, different this, different that. It's just a space for sellers to buy promotion. Meaning sellers pay for promotion on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And y'all see the ads come up. That's what that's for. None of these things have anything to do with life and you living life. I'm not saying that there has to be a choice between the two, but I'm just saying that living life and life itself, well, y'all neglecting that part. You said, who calling? You should have answered. Wish your mom. She lonely. But yeah, y'all live in a little matrix they made called the system. What y'all call the Freemasons of old, not the new fake stuff, but the old Freemasons, from like the 1600s and all that. they built this system that we live. They the architects of that. Most people think when they say the Masons are the architects of America, they think like the buildings and stuff. And they are the architects of that as well, but think more like the grid line system and how everything works, where you have stores, taxes that have to be paid on that store, and just the whole ins and outs to the system that we live, and how it's like a perfectly made game where you're like the dog chasing the hare. They put the little fake bunny rabbit in front of the race dog. It chase it all around the track, but it ain't never gonna catch it because it's not a real hare. It's not a real rabbit, big baby. They got y'all on that game. Doggy chasing the hare all around the place. Never catch it though, but the Masons, Freemasons, and a lot of the old secret societies. They're the architects of the system you live. Whether we're speaking of the city aspect, the moral aspect, the religious aspect, it's all a construct. So how the religion is kind of written into the society and how everything is woven in together, this all has to be constructed. If I bring most of y'all, let's say, to a place that's 1 million free acres, and I say develop it into a whole city like that, y'all know how to build, but y'all will get lost on the structure part where you like, oh yeah, we got to make rules. And everything has to make sense in regards to like the system like that. They constructed this whole system you see when you stop at the red light and then the other side of the street gets to go like that. Every aspect of the system that you may overlook, they're the architects of it. And how you can get a job, but that job ain't enough for you to last in society. They raise the price of society, but not the price of y'all jobs. All of that is constructed how it is to serve the point, which is to basically take y'all out of life and put y'all in the system, a matrix. I say that because we have no access to resources. If y'all want to build a home or something, y'all can't just go chop down trees in y'all neighborhood, slice them up into 2x4s and get the building, and use the nature and the resources around y'all to build for yourselves. Everything we buy out of store, it come from nature. You go to Home Depot to buy wood, that's a tree. You chop it down, take the bark off, that's what you just bought. You could have did that yourself. You get my point? Anything you could think of that you buy, food, whatever. Even y'all clothing. Y'all can grow many different kind of plants, extract the plant fibers. That's like, if you think like celery, you break like the stalk of celery, you'll see like fibers, like plant fibers. That's spun into thread, and that thread is weaved into fabric, and this is how we have shirts and all of that stuff. That's the process. But we don't have access to do none of this. So the system we live in, it robbed the resources from us, which is the life. This is the things to do. This is the life. This is living. They robbed us of that. And they basically made products out of the resources. They put it in the stores, and you get it. The only way we can get those products, which is like a bootleg version of the resources, a watered down version, the only way we can get them is if we slave. So it's like forced slavery. They take all the resources, then they build stores, and they put the resources in the stores. You say, I need resources. They say, well, you need money to get it. You say, how I get that? They say, work for me for like 25 years. I'll pay you a little bit a week, enough for you to buy something to eat and get back here. That's how that works. It's a trap. But we stuck in it because you get my point. Y'all let the system do what it want. It's real to y'all. They They build jails, they lock people up in it. People spend their whole lives in prisons, never realizing, like, damn, I just wasted my whole life playing a stupid game. Like, prison ain't real. Nobody have the right to lock. It wouldn't matter what I do. Nobody got a right to lock me up. They could kill me, but that's like, you get it. It's like the nature. The one lion don't lock up the other lion. You could die, but you can't enslave somebody like that for their whole life. That's beyond death. Like, what are you doing? That don't even make no sense. Like, they give somebody 2 life sentences. That just kill. Like, what are you doing? That's like somebody dying, you holding on to the body. What are you doing? Like, and so y'all got loved ones in jail that got life and shit like that. There's no awareness in y'all brain to say, hold on, that's not even real. Like, a nigga just developed up a part of the forest, put roads and shit in it. He named it. He built the jail here and said, anybody break my rules is going in this jail. And that's how my loved one end up in it. That's literally what happened. They came to America, they built roads and shit like that, made up whatever rules they wanted and said whoever break it, put them in jail. And we can keep them however long we want. Did God or anybody fly out the sky and say, yes, we are authorized to do that? No. They came up with that on their own. Just regular old men like you. Probably not even tough. They just came up with that. We go along with it like, oh, damn. There go the cops. You don't look at the cops like, man, they regular people like me, man. They just at work, man. Fuck, they ain't nobody important. You don't look at it like that. Like that. Y'all just go with the game. Like, in that, you get my point? It exists in that way, but there's still life. Most people, die having never lived life. They live the system, the work, the competition, and all the chaos and turmoil that comes with that, working, competing. Meaning y'all are grouped together like friends, but it's really a competitive thing. And this is why y'all all have different work. And so it's a deep thing, but like I said, it's a conscious thing. Most people haven't even begun thinking. They just shift through whatever was downloaded into their mind. That's thoughts to them. Not having fresh thought that come directly from the self, you get it? Lorenzo Buke said they literally come out now saying they want us drugged up playing video. How silly. You can't blame nobody for your own ignorance. Meaning the person could want you to be anything they want, but you get my point? In order for you to be it, you got to go along with it. You gonna go along with anything if you're self-aware. Meaning you gonna be convinced and, groomed into anything if the mind has not opened and evolved beyond, the neglected state that it's in now. Of course, if any of y'all want to give back, oh, I don't think I put it in the description section, but I'm assuming a lot of y'all know my links. If any of y'all have them, y'all can include it in the comment section. But if any of y'all want to give back, I believe in balance. You can click my links in the description of one of my older videos. Subscribe if you're not. Click that thumb as well. Now, I seen one of y'all said there is no war. There's always wars. There's two greasy ass niggas in your neighborhood somewhere fighting. You get my point? There's always wars now. But the war ain't got nothing to do with your reality, meaning you in the present right now. Is there a war happening in your reality? Or is that something you entertain on television? Like that. Most of y'all have not become aware that y'all have not separated television from reality. And everything that y'all get and everything that y'all speak of, it comes from television or one of its earlier forms, book or radio. The book was first, television. It put ideas and images and things in your mind, stories. After that, radio, then television, which is visual and audio, but everything y'all know it come from that television, entertainment, not reality. Y'all know of aliens from, like I said, television. And then if I say you're a fool because you're a grown up and you overlook that whatever you talking about come from TV, even though you know TV is the lie box, then y'all will get insecure. Like, he got he got ego. I got ego because you ain't aware of nothing. Because you slow. How I got ego because y'all slow. And so it's a deep thing. Meaning understanding wisdom. It's a little frozen on my end. Okay, here we go. Most people are lost into receiving in a whole bunch of knowledge, information, learning new curriculums. But in regards to the mind opening up and them becoming self-aware and aware of, every aspect of life, everything falls into a balance, a this way or that way thing. And until the mind becomes aware, you get my point? Like little children, not truly understanding, just doing whatever's laid out for y'all to do, a picking. You said, did the price of fuel in the U.S. go up because of the war in Iran? Now, prices go up to fund the war. War costs weapons and bullets and other things. And that, you get it? Raising the price of gas 50 cents a dollar, then you times that by everybody on the planet. So you get it? Yeah, you get a quick 500 million in one day. Put that towards the war. So y'all pay for the war. When they raise the price, that's what that's for. If eggs go up, they looking to fund something. That extra dollar, dollar 50 or whatever it costs you, times it by all the people in life. Then you'll grasp, oh, 7 billion people in life. 50 cents from everybody is a $500 million. One shot. God damn. Hold on. They robbing us. Yeah. Y'all go to work. They tax everybody check. They take a dollar from every working person. That's like a quick 900 million. How many people work out of the billion? If it's 7 billion people, at least what? 500 million work? So you get it? Take a dollar out of all y'all checks. That's 500 million one shot. Now they take 20, 40, 60, $250 out of some of you niggas. You get my point? Go on ahead and times that, but times 500 million. So you can see how much money they bringing in every week. And that'd make you say, hold on, I'm in the wrong business. Wait, I think I need my own city because I need a city with 1 million people that live in it so I can tax them all. Get my money every week. You feel me? And so I be trying to put y'all up on game, but y'all don't have a mind to grasp. And you get it? I guess I'm talking to the wrong audience. I gotta make some adjustments, but you said how many people working did it take for the Somalian fraud selective? I'm not sure what you're saying. I'm not sure if you're trying to insult me or you're saying something important. But whatever I have ain't dependent on y'all. I will hope you don't think you coming in here useless to do something for me. I'm not sure where a lot of y'all get this fraud narrative and all this dumb talk, but how you useless here and somebody frauding you? It's just a question that I'm not only asking Lone Wolf, but the rest of y'all. A lot of y'all come here with that mindset. Or you act like, you getting did wrong in some way. How you getting did wrong and you come here useless? It's just a question. Please, someone answer it. Because it's one thing I'm helping you, growing mine and you useless. It's a whole nother thing when you insulted me on your uselessness. Your eyes don't finance nothing over here, Playboy, so get real. And I'm not just talking to you, all of y'all. Whoever got that mindset, y'all better adjust y'all mindset. Stop playing games with yourselves. Like I said, it's one thing if you ain't, bringing nothing to the table, but don't start acting like you got anything to do with the table. That part. You didn't put nothing on the table. You set nothing on the table. You don't need to take credit for nothing on the table. And so a lot of y'all need to understand what self-worth is. Don't bring your self-worthlessness here. Salam. It's something said, this is hell. You deal with the audience that comes for your message. I don't have a message. I explain different scholarship. It's like I said, a lot of y'all are too dumb to be here. I can tell from the impoverished mindset that y'all come with, where you trying to manipulate somebody to, like, think for you and do for you for free. That's what all y'all bum talk is based on. I guess trying to make me feel guilty in some way. But y'all, I'm not responsible for y'all. Y'all own whatever y'all are. I was lost online before I came here, getting dumbed out. Y'all dumb ain't my business. It's not my responsibility. And any other problem you got ain't got nothing to do with me. You just don't belong here. A lot of y'all mad poor in reality and you poor minded. You keep trying to go places you don't belong, trying to make sense of like that feeling of not belonging, I suppose. But this ain't the place for that. This is the place for those that want wisdom and want to get there. If you somebody in life and you looking for a cheat code to life or a quick get rich scheme or somebody to put you under the wing and teach you something, this is the place that you need to come to after you do something with yourself. You get my point? It's for people that's stable and need help on the mental and emotional side. Most of y'all are coming in here financially, fucked up. And you think my channel got to do with that? Like some charity for you, and it's because of all the people that y'all follow and make y'all like cattle, looking for gods and things to rule over y'all and do for y'all and all this dumb stuff. Start to view yourselves as charity cases, and people need to give back to y'all for what though? Give back is for reception first, like, and so you get my point. My channel for people that, like I said, a little stable and, they got their finances somewhat together. And that they won't come being a burden. And so take heed to what I just said. Nobody got to take offense. If it apply to you, get yourself together, or, go where you belong. I'm not saying come here and just be silent. Just go where you belong. It's all one and the same. And life is about that. Finding where you belong, and you get it. Those with the same ideals and the same mind do what they do. Other than that, a lot of y'all coming here, you don't belong here. Your mind ain't on the level. You lost in stupid cycles where you still trying to prove something. Refusing to accept it's already been proven to you. You a fool. And so please take heed to what I said. Stop coming in here and insulting me and saying dumb shit because you feel worthless here. I didn't tell you to come. Now it's almost my dinner time. Sunset time. If you're not a channel member, join the channel. Dream Lavish said, "What's the best way to evade tax?" Salam, Dream Lavish. I don't think you belong here, champ. I ain't trying to hurt your feelings, but you've been here long enough. You're not learning anything. Brain is lost into whatever it is. You get my point? Kind of useless at this point. Just move along. This channel is for people that get the point of the things that I say so that action can be taken. And you get my point? Adjustments can be made to the life, not the world. The life, You're wrong. Romeo Akbar, why you keep asking me that? Is it 17 o'clock where you are? And you just said something about the dumb. Hit me with the dumb right away. Silas, how you make an egg sandwich? Scrambled egg, right? Block it and hot stone brain head ass. Gotta cook fried eggs on some of you. Got the hot stone head. It's just good for frying. Brain just good for frying eggs, man. And listen here, man. Like I said, visit my website. The wisdom is on my courses. If you miss, like, the deep post, they there. That become a channel member. This video will be there. The channel membership. I'm looking to see if I missed any comments. $3.99. What you said earlier makes that's it. You said we start wrong talking about we gods. We ain't no damn gods. We dumb. That's the first step, accepting your dumbness and becoming aware of it. In regards to God, that's just a word. Like, it's just a word to describe something that most people in life have no clue of what's actually being described in the word, like what's being spoken about. They just know the word. Whatever image they put in their mind to that word, you get it? And that. I have to find those of equal mind, or, close enough, because y'all have. I'm laughing at L. Rose. He said, I have a BS in psychology with a minor in criminal justice. I'm very aware of the human mind. He thinks psychology boils down to curriculum. Most of y'all that went to school, college, things like that. You learn nothing in college, but somehow you convince yourself you did. I'm not telling you my opinion. I'm telling you the realities. Nobody learns anything in school. You get the paper so you can perform whatever the job may be, but in regards to you knowing the job, well, you learn that when you get on the job. The brain surgeon learns how to be a doctor when they start working, not in school. They didn't learn any. They can't do nothing with no brain when they first get out of school. It's the same with the lawyer and anything you could think of concerning school. The person leaves school not knowing how to do anything that they went to school for. I'm saying that because you said, man, you got a BS in psychology, but that don't mean you know anything in regards to the psyche. Understanding the psyche got to do with wisdom, not curriculum. How can a Babylon monkey be a psychologist and a Babylon monkey lives curriculum? Meaning y'all live programmings. Y'all have verbatim response like that. Psychology was put on y'all. So y'all play a lot of psychological games with self and others. But when you're playing it with others, well, you get it? It starts with the self. And I call it the convincing the mind game. This is what most people do. They don't get their way, they convince themselves that that ain't the way. The whole self manipulation. Elrose 917 think he's funny. Some of y'all be funny. When you get wise for real, y'all egos is insane. I'll be thinking y'all wise and having no works in regards to wisdom, like, and not a paragraph. Not a paragraph of anything wise you've ever said or done. You get my point? But y'all be so wise to y'all selves for no reason. This is what ego is. When you lost in the perspective that it don't match reality. Dream lavish. Said, have you had barbecue lamb chops? I'm gonna let you go in a minute, Romeo Akbar. I'm not sure if you drugged out or whatever, but this ain't the place for drug addicts. A lot of y'all, that are drinking habits and things like that. Y'all come from the conscious community. Can y'all go back? I'm not being funny. I said this in my first early beginnings. noticed when I went on sign at the channel, canned beer drink, canned beer drinkers were kind of like, we have nothing in common. Please go on your way. I'm not being funny. I'm just putting everything in perspective in order. Right? If you're not a feather, please don't come here. It's no need. Go whatever you are. And when you become a true adult and you're your own person, come see me then, please. Salam. I was asking about food, not drugs. You're asking me if I had barbecue lamb chops. So here's the wisest man alive. Ask him anything you want to know. The nigga said, have you had. Excuse me, wise sir. Have you had barbecue? Have you had barbecue lamb chops, man? What? Huh? This what I mean by y'all dumb be next level, blood. Nigga gonna see God on Judgment Day and be like, your feet are brown. Your feet are burnt like bread. I can't be serious with y'all because y'all too retarded. I be trying to stay serious and I can't because it got me sitting here. I got me sitting here tearing on the low. Slow. I said, do you like barbecue lamb chops? Huh? I was making oxtail. I've been eating oxtail. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm addicted. I'm having oxtails tonight. Same way I same way I did yesterday. I bought it from the store though yesterday. I'm gonna make my own today, cause you feel me. They don't really be knowing what they doing. It be too much blubber on it. Said that's another interview is a classic. I cooks for everybody. I don't even know who you talk. I don't even know what dude you talking about, but I cooks. That's what I do. You feel me? I cook. Dream Lavish, you said, what's the right prayer to say before eating food? You see how you live script? Are you looking for a script to live? So you say, like, what am I supposed to say over my food? Like that. Like children. Why does chicken McNuggets have no bones in them? Shit like that. Like, why are they asking me that? Who cares why chicken McNuggets from McDonald's don't have bones in them? How does the mind? How does the mind even go there? An animal is life. You pray for yourself in that act of death. Meaning prayer over food having to do with apologies and, a self awareness thing. Not so much a thank you for this food I'm about to devour, amen, but more of a self aware of the act that's done for you to have food, which is a slaughtering. And you get it? Have mercy on my soul, but I'm hungry type of thing. That's the proper way you pray over food. The words you choose to use own. You feel that? Oh, 2 hours. I'm about to depart. If y'all have any questions, ask before I do that. Salam. Pisces said Trump is an old man, answer mentally deranged. Old man, answer mentally. He struggles with speaking and has a very low IQ. He is very Y'all have like envious babble in today times. Meaning most of the things that come out of y'all mouth, it correlates with that. Like an envious babble about, this person or that person. Trump being dumb or smart don't have anything to do with me or you. Him being stupid or smart is not going to change the fabric or the quality of your life. The energy y'all have for nothing and the lack of energy y'all have for y'all own selves is amazing. After I talk to y'all, my mind feel like it has baby slobber. I feel like I got baby drool all over my mind and my soul, and I need to know, cleanse up. I'm not sure how to explain it, but come here for wisdom, not to impress me with, you know, y'all ignorance, because that's what it becomes. You overlooking all the splendor for you to have a moment to say one dumb thing, and Romeo Akbar, you said, how can you honestly speak up for yourself without being scared and shaking inside? I have nothing to do with coward. It's like I said, y'all have to find y'all place. Y'all have to learn how to. Y'all have to learn how to get in where y'all fit in. You said it's a problem you have in your real life. No, I get that. I don't think you got what I said. Your kind ain't my kind. I don't know if that went over your head. You say you scary. You got day and night in life. You get it? I ain't got nothing to do with whatever you got going on. That's low vibration things. Meaning your issue have to do with low vibrational things and you're partaking in it. Otherwise, what are you scared for? You said you want to be more confident and grow into a real man. How old are you? There's too many women in my family, so I guess I don't really have a father figure. Salam, shalom. How old are you? I forget. When I'm speaking to y'all, I'm speaking to 35s and ups in my mind. I forget some of y'all 15 years old. If you young, then I'll answer it for you. But if you say you about 30, like I said, I don't have anything to do with your kind. You're 26 years old. What the fuck? It's too old, champ. I don't deal with your kind. And I'll help you out. But I don't be dealing with your kind. You gotta be around men to be one. It's that simple. You say you got too many women in your family. I guess they dictate over how you are and things like that. Like I said, you gotta be surrounded by real men. And that's the only way that's gonna rub off on you. Other than that, you get my point? You're gonna be what you are. An extension of a female. An extension of a female, you hear me? You said I feel trapped. I can't even take a walk without coming back home. And my grandma criticizing me. You sound like a grown baby, my guy. It's like I said, some of y'all don't belong here, you know? I ain't trying to hurt your feelings or nothing, but you get it? You sound like you need to get the fuck off my chest. I'm just playing. Said I need to get a job. Oh yeah, you need to definitely get the fuck off my goddamn. Oh, you ain't got nothing going on. Oh nah, you got to get out of here, big baby. I'm sorry. I mean, I feel you. Sweet talk don't really work on me, you know. Said I love you. When females say that to me, it don't work. I don't know why you would think it would. You a whole man. Why would you? That's a fight. Why you said you don't belong here? You talking about I love you? What you saying? Like, I said, what you saying? Like, I said get out. That's really right. Nah, nigga, I said get out. What you mean? But I love you. Huh? Huh? Excuse me? Pass the can Merc. That's when you get your head in the head with a can of Merc. Yeah. You know what you know what I'm talking about, big baby? Nah, I'm just playing with you, but I'm not. I don't think you belong here. I don't mind if you come, but you don't seem to be getting any wiser. You got me working in the bed. You got me working in the basement of YouTube, huh? Oh my god, I'm just playing. Let me shut up. Peace and wisdom. Just said, hey, it's your father. Amen. Born from the comedic. Y'all see what I mean by these conscious community people? They be thrown off. Hit you with the little kid talk. Don't laugh. You come on now. I seen a conscious community dude laying in the middle of the street one day, drunk out his mind, talking about I'm in the. He was screaming out I'm in Rob like gotta be in the conscious community. I'm like, oh my god, I hope he ain't see me on one of they channels and start talking. Nothing like that. Feel me? Cause I can't do it. I ain't used to, you know. I don't come from y'all level of like tackiness, and you know, it's different. It's a deep thing. I don't deal with like ex drug addicts and stuff like that. You got what? Well, I don't know. You got things in life that do, but this ain't the place for that. I don't deal with ex drug addicts, current ones. No dusty shit like beer drinking, none of that type of shit. I don't deal with people like that in real life. So you get my point. There's no offense, and I'm just being clear for like y'all comments and y'all minds reflect those kind of things, and you get my point. This ain't really the place for that. I don't deal with them types in my real life to be, you know, digitally dealing with. Talking about you 26 And your grandma's still telling you what to do and you ain't got a job, you get it? You in the wrong space, champ. I know nothing of those types of things. I know nothing of nobody, like that. Now I'm about to depart. Y'all enjoy y'all afternoon. Salam.